Hello, my beautiful people. Your 2023 tarot and astrology readings are up and out there for your purchasing pleasure. So they are the same price. I'm keeping the same price so that they are accessible for everybody. So you can get them for $4.99 a piece, which is like the price of a cup of coffee, basically, or a sandwich, or probably, I don't even think you can get either of those now. Well, thereabouts at this moment in time. So this year, I have included even more knowledge, even more wisdom for you to digest. So as part of those, you will get the numerology overview, the eclipse overview. That is a part that I'm not going to be putting out on any of my other platforms. And it's really important that you see that, because the way that the eclipse is full next year is there's some really juicy tidbits in there. On top of that, you will get the lunation section, which is all about your new moon, your full moon of the year of 2023, and the eclipses and how all of those are going to be impacting your sign. On top of that, you will get the 12-month breakdown, and this year, the 12-month tarot breakdown. And on top of that, this year, I've created a 19 plus, because they're about 19 pages or more, plus page document of astrological knowledge and wisdom, and how the biggest transits of the year are going to be hitting you in your sign. So I have literally, by the way, that's downloadable and printable, so you can have it as like a reference guide for the year ahead. I literally couldn't fit any more into these. We've also made the files smaller this year so that they're easier for you guys to download. I've tried to think of absolutely everything. So you can get one for $4.99. You can get your big three, your sun, moon, and ascendant, for $14.97. So you would select the two that you want, and then at the cart you add the third item so that you get your sun, moon, and rising. Or you can buy the bundle for $24.99, right? Look at that. And then you can download them and send them to all of your loved ones. With that said, I just want to say a massive thank you for allowing me to, from time to time sell you things. Obviously, this is my business. It is how I do my work. So thank you so much for listening. If you want to get those, you can do so on the link in the description box below. For those of you that do purchase and support my work, I thank you so deeply and humbly from my heart to yours. I really hope you have a wonderful 2023, and I really hope that you love them as much as I did creating them. Take care, and then let's get to your week ahead tarot scope. Hi Scorpio, welcome to your week ahead tarot scope with me, Raphael from Reydiant Reality. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for joining me. Your key to the week this week is the Hanged Man. Take it slow, take it easy, take a breath, just take a minute to really assess and reassess where you're at this moment in time. I also want to encourage you to delve into your spiritual creativity this week, all right? Take a moment to really deeply understand where you're at and find a creative or even a spiritual solution to whatever real world stuff you might have going on at this moment in time, all right? And the reason I say this, the chances are in all of these sectors of life, I'm sorry to say, that you are likely to find that there are delays, or things aren't moving ahead in maybe the way that you want, or maybe in at the speed that you would like them to. This is a week for you to go within and to ask yourself, what is the hold up here, and where can I turn that energy of frustration into something creative? If you are and I was going to say, like, if you are already a creative, this week you have a chance to really channel something through. So you could create some sort of psychic art. You could do some kind of, so when I do my written readings, I like to put certain types of music on and then literally just allow myself to disappear into the typing, right? And it's kind of like digital automatic writing, if you like, because once I'm finished, I'm like, okay, and we're back in the room, and then, I'll read through before I send off to my clients. I love those because it's like a moment where you just get to open up and be a pure channel for source. So whatever that means to you this week, find a way to do it. You could have some amazing ideas, some really awesome insights, and you could create something of profound natural beauty. With that said, I would like to bless my deck of cards with all forms of love, light, peace, prosperity, and abundance. I pray that the messages that come through are ultimately clear and concise, and they help you on your path to your highest vibrational good. So for your actions and options this week, you have the Six of Wands. Look at that, right? So whatever the delays are, certainly in terms of things that you're trying to drive forward, they might be short-lived, right? So there are hurdles, there are sort of hold-ups and potentially delays, but you're dealing with them like a boss. What this also tells me as well is whatever delay is taking place for you at the moment, this week it allows you to catch up on the daily tasks and sort of requirements that you have let slide. So as an example, not particularly sexy, right? But let's say you've been so busy at work that you haven't really been able to tidy up your home, to do your washing, to catch up on your chores. Again, not very sexy, but those day-to-day things, eventually your environment starts to look a mess, right? And then it's like, okay, I can't cope with this, or I'm not one of those people. It doesn't get to that point because I get really frustrated with mess really quickly. But you know, not mess, but you know what I mean, like untidy. I really can't think. So this could, like, literally whatever the delay is this week, it could allow you to attend to the things that have been piling up in some regard. What I also like about this for you is, because your actions and options, this is about what you do and what you choose. There are options available to you this week, and there are also other avenues that will open up for you that you wouldn't have been able to enjoy or fulfill maybe had you not had this delay. All right, so this is one of those weeks to be thankful for the hold-ups. So then you've got the Death card in the communications and conversations. This is not a week for you to be talking about what it is that you're trying to do. This is one of those weeks where staying silent or keeping your mouth shut about what you're working on is the best way to go. Now, interestingly enough, you've got this under the Hanged Man. The Death card is your card, right? It wouldn't be a Scorpio reading if you didn't pull the Death card once or twice. What I will say to you is your like what you're sharing with people this week. No, this is, unless they are your inner trusted circle, and even then, the reason being is it feels like whatever you're working on is not cooked yet, all right? You wouldn't share a meal with somebody if it was undercooked. Don't share whatever you're working on, especially if it is channeled from source. This is for you and for your eyes only at this point. Now, I'm really sorry to say, it does potentially speak to, this could be a touch wood, and I really hope I'm wrong on this front, but it does potentially speak to problems or issues around cars and or vehicles. So just keep that in mind. Now, when it comes to those of you that are studying or in some form of academia, your studies could take on a bit more of a morbid direction this week. So maybe you're studying something that's a little bit deeper, a little bit darker. You are a Scorpio after all. But you know, maybe as well, this is that you're delving into the taboos of your subject. So this week, it wouldn't surprise me if you're learning some of the deeper or darker or possibly even the historical stuff around your practices or around what your subject matter is. For those of you that are employed by somebody else, this could literally be that you are choosing to end an employment, and it will be a conscious decision. It's not that somebody else is saying to you, oh, you know, we're firing you. This could be, actually, you know what, after giving it some thought, this is no longer the job for me, but I know that there's something much better that I can move towards, right? And with this Six of Wands, if you're leaving a job this week, or you decide to leave a job this week, you'll find something else, probably something much better, really quickly. You might be surprised at how quickly something else replaces it. When it comes to those of you that are business owners, entrepreneurs, solopreneurs, this is literally you retiring or releasing a service, something that you're no longer feeling, do you know what I mean? Like aligned to. It's like, yes, that was great once upon a time, but actually this doesn't feel like something that I want to offer anymore. When it comes to your, come on brain. When it comes to those of you that are retired and no longer working, whatever trip you are planning to take or had planned to take, it looks like it's off this week. It doesn't mean it's not going to go ahead. It just means it's not happening now. For your love and relations, you have the Two of Wands. Great energy for partnership, and great energy for future travel plans that are coming up with the partner. Now, you could still embark on this journey, but it's like you get to the hotel and you find out they've given your room away and they've got no more space, so you're having to go somewhere else. This could be you know, I mean, it bodes very well for you in the long term with the stuff, because anything that is cancelled this week, you'll either get like a big lump sum back for it, or you'll get like a gratuity added to it for the next time. So yes, it's going to be a bit of a headache or a ball ache, but in the long run, this could be good. So as an example, let's say that scenario with the hotel happens and they say, look, you know what, next time you can come and stay, we'll give you all inclusive for the entire duration of your stay. You know, your drinks, your food, everything will be covered. It will be on us. So, okay, yeah, it's annoying that this has been cancelled or it's not going ahead, but look at what you get in return. For those of you that are single, it's likely that you have plans to go and connect with somebody that either lives at a distance from you, or potentially for some of you lives overseas. I'm going to say there's a spanner in this works, and there's a good reason for this. It's just not revealed here. When it comes to your money and materials, you've got the Judgment card, so big changes coming through the finances. And for those of you that pay attention to your, so these two together, and I was hoping to avoid this because recently there's been some, you know, hubbub in the comments and people complaining that I'm always talking about death, or, you know, I'm always talking about the heavy stuff, like what's the point? If you can't handle the heaviness of life, it's really going to be very hard for you, all right? And ultimately, if tarot is the book of life, it's going to speak to every single experience that a human being can have. The lighter side of life and the heavier side of life. That is just the way that it is. I don't make those rules. That's universal law. When I see these two cards, the Death card and the Judgment card together, that literally represents physical death. Now, the weird sort of twist that this comes in with, there's two ways this will show up for you. One, because obviously the Judgment card is in the money and materials, that's an inheritance. It can also be that some move that you could make or investment that you could make, the knowledge or the information of that could come from a loved one who has long since passed over. So an old uncle, an old aunt, a grandparent, a parent, a brother, a sister comes to you in your dream. You know, they've passed over already, long gone, maybe 2, 5, 50, whatever years past. And they say to you, this is what you should be doing with your money right now. Pay attention to your deep sort of spiritual messages that come through those that have passed in your dreams. It's really weird. Like, the only thing that I can attribute this to is, it's like, let's say a grandparent comes to you and says, I want you to invest in ... This is where you should put your money. And it's like, you wake up and you think, what the hell was that? Do you know what I mean? It's like you're getting some sort of divine guidance or inspiration through someone or something that has already passed over, and it has something to do with your resources. For a select few of you, this could literally be a week where you find out you've got an inheritance, maybe that you didn't even know about. When it comes to your home and environment, the Judgment card does suggest that there are big changes coming on the home front, especially for those of you that are partnered, because I have you either moving in together, or, you know, if you're not already, or you are choosing to move away from the area that you're in. And the reason for that will reveal itself this week. So I kind of feel like this is going to be a very fast development for a lot of you. And then finally, when it comes to your physical health and vitality, Judgment for me always speaks to chronic situations, chronic health issues, chronic health situations, especially things to do. I'm not a doctor. I can't give you medical advice. I'm not diagnosing. But with the Hanged Man as the key to the week, that's hormonal stuff. It's maybe a thyroid problem, maybe a serotonin issue, maybe, you know, like a hormone imbalance or problem that's a recurring situation. You could potentially have a flare-up this week, but you could also have a breakthrough this week where it's like you finally find the right answers, or you finally find the right you know, maybe your specialist or your doctor comes to you and says, look, we think we've identified what, and now we know how to treat you properly. And it's like you're having a breakthrough this week with something that has been a consistent issue. With that said, I wish you an abundance of all of that good stuff. It looks like a total mixed bag. There are good pockets of stuff here. There's also potentially as well for those of you that are partnered, your partner's finances and or resources could do very well with that Hanged Man. But like I said, this is what really intrigues me. I'm really interested to see how this shapes up for you guys. So let me know in the comments. Take care and I'll see you soon.